Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ramon from Omni Games here. I'm here to do a deck profile. I got another modern deck. We built red green Tron. So today we're going to be doing a red green Tron deck profile. This deck's very consistent. It knows what it wants to do. It wants to assemble Tron turn 3 and just start dropping big colorless creatures, and it's pretty consistent. I like it. The deck digs a lot for its pieces, and like I said, it knows what it wants to do. So here's the deck profile. Hope you guys like it. All right, so we play 4 Chromatic Star. So this is a 1-drop that you tap 1 mana and tap it, and add any color mana to your pool. And when it's put in the graveyard from play, you draw a card. Pretty simple. So then we play Chromatic Sphere, which does almost the same thing, but this one it automatically lets you draw a card. Doesn't have to hit the graveyard when you sacrifice it. So both of these do the same thing. So you have 8 cards that let you dig 1 card deeper into the deck and give you any color mana. So that's pretty good because most of our land is colorless in this deck. Alright, so there's 8 of those. We play 4 Expedition Map. So 1-drop artifact that you pay 2 and tap it, sacrifice it, and search for any land in your deck. Pretty good. You play 4 Ancient Steerings. This is a 1 green sorcery spell that lets you look at the top 5 cards of your library and you may reveal a colorless card and add it to your hand, including land. So land is colorless, according to this. So yeah, so this is how you can dig into your deck and get your Tron pieces. We play 4 Sylvan Scrying, 1 green, 1 colorless. Search your library for a land card, add it to your hand, and you shuffle. So already we have 8 cards that directly search for land. We play 2 Pyroclasm. This is the only red spell in the deck. So because of that, it's called Red Green Tron. And it deals 2 damage to every creature. It's really good because in Modern, most of the time it will just board wipe. There's a lot of stuff that's like fast, small, so this will clear the board up for you, especially against those red decks and stuff like that. Then for stuff that is bigger, you play 2 All Is Dust. It's 7 colorless mana. Each player sacrifices all color permanents he or she controls. So since all our permanents are colorless, we don't sack anything, and then our opponent more than likely will sack all his permanents. So we play 2 of those. It's a really good card. We then play 3 Oblivion Stone. It's a artifact for 3. You can pay 4 mana and tap it and put a fake counter on target permanent. And then you can play 5 mana, tap it and sack it, and destroy each non-land permanent without a fake counter on it. So everything that has a fake counter stays, which is really good. So usually, like with Tron, depending when you get this, you can either start protecting your stuff slowly to build a lot of pressure, or if you're getting in a pinch, getting overwhelmed, you can play for 3 and then just automatically sack it and board wipe. It depends. So 3 of those. Now this deck is a little different than most red green Trons. I did net deck it, and it did really good at a huge tournament. And looking here, I see that it's kind of built for different matchups. Like there's some like this for example. I mainboard 2 Spellskite, which is really good against Infect or any of those red deck winds, burn, anything fast, because you can throw this down if you have it and then just start blocking. You know, mostly because of Infect though, or Splinter Twin. Your opponent goes to put down Splinter Twin, you pay 2 life, put Splinter Twin on Spellskite, and then your opponent's like, damn it. So that's 2 Spellskite. And here's the fatties. We play 3 Wormcoil. Card's just amazing. Like, I remember one game, I was just, the beatdown was amazing. I had 42 life. And, I mean, I think it was a Tron mirror because my opponent was somehow gaining some life too. But, man, it was amazing. This card's so great. You get so much worth out of it. You then play 2 Ugin, another board wipe. For -X or +2, you just lightning bolt your opponent. Ugin's bomb in this deck is not necessarily that great. It could be really good because if you get Karn, Wormcoil, something, it's really good. But mostly you just use it to keep the board clean. But yeah, card's amazing. Turn 4 Ugin is really fun. We also play 4 Karn. Love this bad boy. God, I love these. Love this card. You can do some shenanigans with it, and it's great. You +4, you exile, you target player exiles a card from his or her hand. So if I'm about to bomb it, I can go +4, pick me, exile a Wormcoil. Next turn I can bomb Karn and start the game with a Wormcoil on the board. So shit like that. You can get rid of problematic cards by going -3 to exile target permanent. You can exile your opponent's land, which is awesome. It's not awesome, not for your opponent, but pretty fun for me. Because if I restart the game, I'm starting with land on board. 4 Karn and 1 Emrakul. Card's busted, hands down. Card is not fair. It's usually game. There's almost no answer to it, especially in Modern. You cast it, take an extra turn, and attack for 15 in the air with Annihilator 6. You have to sack 6 permanents before you can declare blockers. So most of the time when I slap this bad boy down, it's game. I've never had an opponent fight through Emrakul, so it's good, and it's searchable. Most of our colorless creatures are searchable in this deck. So now we go to mana. We play 20 land. We play 1 forest, 1 Llanowar Waste, which I will explain once we get to the sideboard. It's pretty interesting. We play 1 Eye of Ugin, which doesn't tap for mana, but for 7 mana and tapping it, you can search for any colorless creature. And you get to end your Eldrazi spells cost 2 less. So you can cast Emrakul for 13. And since we have so many ways of searching mana, if we need creatures, we can search for land. If we have Tron assembled, we search for land, slap this down, get a creature on my opponent's end step. Now next turn I have a creature. So yeah. Play 1 Ghost Quarter. To Tron Mirror against Merfolk. If they go Spreading Seas and turn one of my land into an island. Pretty good. So I see it mostly for for the mirror. We play 4 Growth of the Burnt Willows. Card's really good. A lot of people ask why it's so expensive, but I can see why. There's only been 2 printings of it, and one of them's from the vault. So the from the vault edition is more expensive actually than the original one. So basically, this is, it comes in untapped, and it taps for colorless. And if I want to tap it for a color, my opponent gains a life. But since I have such big creatures, or such ways to like deal so much so much damage and get control of the board, the 1 life really doesn't matter. I love the artwork. I love the frame. I love the frame in this card. So 4 of those. Card's amazing. I really love it. Land. I have a land fetish. Really love land. And then we play our 4 Ursus Mine, Tower, and Power Plant. So basically, when you get one of each of these out, all together, they tap for 7 mana. So if you have all of these out, your tower taps for 3 colorless, and then your power plant and mine tap for 2. So you don't always have to tap all these together. And like if if it's later on in the game and you have this, like for your mana, you can just tap this for a worm coil, and now you don't have mana floating in your pool left over that's gonna go to waste, and then you have 3 mana over here. Because I've seen people that that just tap everything together, and like I don't know. I know I thought when I first got the deck, I was always like, oh, 7, 7, 7, but you just gotta play with it, play around with it. So that's the main deck. It's 20 land and a bunch of big fatties. Deck's amazing. It's so much fun. It's so consistent. Like I barely mulligan ever. And the other day I played a game where I opened one of each Tron piece and a Karn, and man, that was so sacky. So I'm gonna go to the sideboard. We have a germ token for Batterskull. We play 1 Batterskull in the sideboard. Lifelink. You can bounce him back for 3 mana. So, we have so much mana in this deck that it doesn't matter. We play 4th Worm Coil. This is for creature heavy decks. Lifelink. I always side both of these in against burn or like something that's super aggro. So, because the life gain just upsets it so much, they just burn out so quickly. The Llanowar Waste that you saw earlier is for this card that I'm about to show you. And I really love this card. If it's like something rogue or something, I always side these in because it's fun. Like my opponent never expected. So 3 Slaughter Games. If I'm going up against Splinter Twin, which isn't rogue, so but anyway, if I'm going up against Splinter Twin, I'm calling Splinter Twin. So now my opponent has to grind the game out. This card cannot be countered. So yeah, it's pretty much a fuck you. Other decks, what did I play against the other day? I played against Collected Company, Absent Collected Company, and he kept using Quarter Calling, and I never saw Collected Company, so I'm like, he never has it. So I went this, Quarter Calling, and my opponent was like, wow, you just did that. And I was like, yep. Pretty much scoop afterwards. The rest of the game only lasted like 2 more turns. We played 2 Torpor Orb, Splinter Twin. Those Deceiver X shards don't get their ability to tap or on tap. So I'm sure there's other things. Like I know this would be really good against my Death and Taxes Modern deck that I've showed you guys before because everything has enter abilities. So this would wreck it. We play 2 of those. 4 Nature's Claim. 1 green instant. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. If we're playing against Affinity, or if we're playing against anything that's sliding in Blood Moon. Yeah, because Blood Moon hurts a lot. It doesn't hurt as much as you think because the Chromatic Sphere and Stars filter your mana, giving you any color mana. So that's the good thing, but you know, you still want to get rid of the Blood Moon so you can tap for 7 mana, because once Blood Moon's out, everything becomes mountain. Rending Volley. This card cannot be countered and it deals 4 damage to target white or blue creature. Played it against Merfolk. Mono Blue Tron. Splinter Twin. The sideboard seems to be dedicated a lot towards Splinter Twin, because I lose really hard to Splinter Twin because, you know, they have that turn 4 kill, and I don't have a turn 4 kill. I have turn 3 awesomeness, Karn, and turn 4 Ugin, but no turn 3 or 4 kill in this deck. And then last but not least, another Relic of Progenitus. This card's really good. It's good early on because you tap it and target player has to exile a card from his graveyard. So if you get it turn 1, they play anything, boom, exile it, exile it, exile it. And you just gotta keep up with that. If they start playing multiple spells per turn, you pay 1, exile this, exile all graveyards, and I draw a card. So this is really good against green, anything with like Temur or any Delve strategy. This card's pretty good. Main board 1, side the second one. So that's Red Green Tron, guys. If you have any questions or anything, let me know. I will gladly answer your questions down in the comments. Love this deck. Got some history with it. This was about half of this deck was actually a birthday present that my girlfriend and my great set of friends got me for my 23rd birthday, which is awesome. Was not expecting it. Loved it. You know, they shout out to all my friends that contributed to this deck, and I love playing it. If you have any questions or anything, let me know and I will answer them to you in the comments. Make sure to follow and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at OmniGames321. See you guys. Have a good night.